Are you winning at work? You're throwing it all on the line for your career, but you're losing at home? Hi, I'm Amy. And guess what, guys? I want to talk to you about something today. And I want to talk to you about the value of your presence, living present in a distracted world. Today, we are distracted on all fronts. I'm recently reminded of that. Just last week decided spontaneously, my daughter and I were talking, and she goes, "Mom, when am I gonna get to go on a business trip?" And I looked at her and I thought, I think she needs some presence with me. I think she needs some time with me." And so I said, "Actually, you can come with me on this trip." And so I booked a flight for her the next morning for her to join me in New York. And here's what I was reminded of. And here's what I'm so embarrassed and so ashamed to say, but I have a feeling you might understand it and you might sit in the same seat sometimes. We're living halfway present all the time. And I find myself multitasking on my phone all the time in the midst of conversations. Yet I also understand the feelings when you're having a conversation with somebody and they're multitasking and maybe you're telling them something really important and you're all you get from them is a. So this is what I see happening in everything. Guys, our relationships are being destroyed. And guilty as charged. What I'm telling you, I'm drinking my own medicine. I'm taking my own medicine. I literally today thought to myself, man, my time with Faith was so concentrated in New York. My attention was on her. I wasn't living distracted. We were doing the things. We were walking down the street, talking, communicating. And it feels like I have a different relationship with my daughter. So many times we think it's the quality of time or the quantity of time when it's really the quality of time. I would pick quality over quantity all day long. Now, we live in a world where, I mean, I'm in the real estate business. That is a 24/7 business. It doesn't stop. Offers don't stop coming in at 5 o'clock and negotiations don't stop at 5. My world is that we have to respond and that we do respond and we do outbound calling, texting, messaging, sharing offers, presenting offers, you know, till 9, 10 o'clock at night. That is a common occurrence. So how do I live in a business world? How do I live in a corporate world? How do I do what I do at a high level and still not fail in the most important relationships on earth? Your family relationships, your friendships, those valuable friendships. I find myself oftentimes, meeting people for coffee and whatever, and I always try to flip my phone over so I'm not staring at it. But then guess what? I got my Apple Watch on, and guess what? My arm starts beeping and vibrating and all of the things, and pretty soon I've lost the attention. They might have been in the heart of telling me something amazing, and my mind's like, "Why is my phone blowing up? Why is my wrist blowing up? What's going on? What's going on?" Guys, I would say that we are living so distracted that our relationships are suffering, and what's happening is we're living lonely. You need to connect with a human being on a deeper level than just, yeah, head down, clicking away, texting, whatever. You need communication and human connection that goes beyond a text message, that goes beyond, your friends on social media, your so-called friends, right? The human connection piece is missing desperately. People are more globally, socially connected, and they've never been more alone. And I started to think about my kids and my husband. And guys, I would tell you, I have been sucking at this. I have been so distracted. I've used my phone so much. And what I realized is that taking Faith to New York and literally putting my phone down or saying, "Hey, I'm going to be present," the struggle is real. Do you know what? My watch was vibrating like crazy. Things were going on, and we were sitting at a Broadway play, and I found myself wanting to get distracted. I found myself wanting to grab my phone and just scroll through it and check it and double check it, and I realized how addicted I had become to just responding as quickly as possible, and I thought, "You know what? I'm not even staying in the moment." So I put my phone under my leg and sat on it. I'm like, "I am not gonna look at this. I'm not gonna let this dominate my night. I'm just not gonna do it." And what I experienced was a daughter that felt so connected to me. even on our way home, just the conversations. The conversations that I've had even since we've been home are on a different level. And I've pondered, I wonder what that was. It wasn't just time spent because our time was busy. We had lots going on. But what I do know is that I made decisions to choose to not look at my phone and to look at her eyeballs, to actually hear her. I don't know if I'm the only one. I don't know if this is just confessions of a bad CEO. I don't know what it is, right? But literally, as a wife, as a mom, as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend, am I living so distracted that my relationships are becoming like nothing? Ask yourself that. Are my relationships, my most important relationships, my most valuable relationships, am I giving them 10% of the energy I have when I get home, and I just wanna chill out and don't distract me, and I got things going on and just work and all the things or social activities or my phone is more important than the eyeballs that I'm staring at? I don't know, but I've been looking at 2 sets of I've been looking at my set of twins, right? Those, 2 eyes staring back at me. And I can tell the difference when I've spent time with them that has a quality feel and when I've not. Even last night, I was getting ready to I've been presenting an offer all night. Let's just call it what it was. I had been negotiating so many different things, and Foster is getting in bed. And our nightly routine is that we lay with each of our kids for 10 or 15 minutes and just kind of have a end of day wrap up conversation. And I was tempted yesterday just to tell Foster, "Yeah, I'll get you some water here, and good night, buddy, I love you." And I went, I got the water, I was going to shut the door, and I turned around, I said, "Hey, do you care if I come lay with you?" He goes, "That'd be great, mom." And we laid there, and I just talked to him about his school day, about his expectations of what he thought the year was gonna look like. And I thought, these are the moments I'm never gonna get back. No one's gonna care how many houses I sold. No one's gonna care how fast I responded. But these moments, these clips in time, I'll never get back. And then I started thinking about my relationships with my parents and my family, my dear friends. Half the time, and I'm just having true confession, like, I will be on the phone with one of my friends that I have high value for, or I will be with them and my phone will be blowing up. And all of a sudden, I'll get that panic, nervous feeling, and I'll start to look at it. And they're talking, and here I am distracted. They don't have my 100% attention. That's a true confession. I don't know if you're like that or not. But going back to the Barbara Corcoran event that I was just at, even conversations that I've had with her in the past, and the fact that really quality time versus quantity time. You can be with someone all day long, but never engage with them. You can sit in the same car, scroll, listen to music, scrolling, distracted and never having conversation with the most important people in the world to you. Guys, it's amazing how everything is trying to pull us away, but what is suffering is our relationships. And this is what I know. The gold in life is relationships. The gold is. At the end of your day, your fulfillment in life comes from your connection with another human being. Did I connect with people on a deep level? You're like, "Amy, I can't connect with people all the time on a deep level." Did I connect with them? Human beings are meant for connection, and our relationships are suffering greatly by our distractions. I've had times where I've been distracted by anxiety and fear. I don't know if you've been that way or not. Maybe you've had something going on and you're like, "Oh, what's that symptom? What's that?" And you just start to think about it and ruminate on it. And there you're sitting there and the enemy is just distracting you with fear and anxiety and you're again living distracted in the most critical relationships. Know this. I used to have a time when I would go on a trip and I would be like, I would work so hard, just get so much done and get ready to go on a trip. And all of a sudden a thought would occur. And then I'm like ruminating on it. And literally that would plague me. And it would be like it ruined my trip. Like my time, I was there in body, but I wasn't there. My presence was not really there. I was not fully present. And so my challenge to us is to start to be aware. Awareness is the number one thing. I mean, that's three-fourths of the battle. I'm aware that I'm struggling with presence. And I have no judgment of anybody because I struggle with it. And maybe you do too. But I'm trying to do better. And what I mean by trying, I'm doing better. I'm making decisions because I'm looking at this quality versus quantity. If I spend an hour of a day of focused attention on my kids, eyeball to eyeball conversation versus spent the whole day with them, all digitally distracted or business distracted or in my head, like that day, it was like, want, want. But when I could connect with them and go into their world, things look different. Our interactions look different. Think about it. Think about your spouse. I mean, sometimes I think, poor Steve, I have been distracted by life, distracted by business, distracted by, what are we going to do in the future? Distracted by opportunity, distracted by board meetings, distracted by big issues on boards or big issues that we're dealing with. Like present at the table, but in the back of my mind, distracted. So you say, "Well, Amy, what do you do when you have life going on, when things are hitting, when you're walking through stressful situations?" I would say this. This is what I'm working on. I'm a work in progress, just like all of us. But this is what I found that helps me. Make eye contact. You can't be looking at your phone and make eye contact. So if you just focus, I'm going to make eye contact. I'm actually going to turn the phone over and put it away. Like I'm just going to set it to the side. Guys, we've gotten to the point where we can't even have dinner without our phones. Like our relationships, those precious moments in time are literally evaporating to a digital, I don't even know what you want to call it. Like it's doesn't matter. It's wasted time scrolling. But the most important times in our life, we're scrolling them away. We're responding message. We're digitally distracted and not present. This is especially true of busy people, of people that have a lot going on. But my challenge is this: it doesn't have to be quantity. It doesn't have to be like lots and lots of quantity. It has to be quality. Take the walk, have the conversation. The other day, I was out on a walk with my kiddos, and here's the reality. I wanted to just turn on a podcast. I wanted to maximize. They're kind of like riding their bike around me, and I'm like, oh, I can just listen to this podcast. And I thought to myself, this is sick, Amy. This is sick. Enjoy these two precious gifts God gave you. Put the dang phone away. You can listen to a podcast some other time. Unplug your ears and pay attention. Listen to them laugh. Listen to the conversations they're having with one another or the questions they might be asking of me. Nothing builds confidence in another human being than feeling valued. Nothing builds self-esteem. Nothing builds just good self-esteem than being valued. I value you. And because I value you, I'm turning the phone off and I'm setting it by my side. I'm shutting the computer down and I'm going to look at you. This is where we're at, guys. This is where the world is at. Like I walked through the airport the other day and Faith was with me and there was like probably 4 or 5 different people that had like animal carriers. They had cats, dog, and Faith's like, "Oh, your dog's cute. Oh, your cat's cute." You know what? They were so digitally distracted looking at their phone that they didn't even hear my daughter they didn't see her look at them or hear her say, "Oh, your dog's so cute. Oh, your cat's so cute." We are literally living with our head like facing downward to the ground, focused on what is happening on that phone. And I'm telling you, that phone is more addictive than crack cocaine. It's more addictive than anything. And guess what? I am guilty as charged. But my challenge to us is this: live in the present. And you're like, "Amy, but I have a busy schedule. I'm responding." I mean, guys, I'm a realtor. I understand. I'm talking with agents, I'm talking with clients, all the things. But can I just set my phone down for just a little bit? Can I take an hour a day and say, I'm going to be 100% present with my family? I'm going to be 100% present with my spouse. The other day, I was like, I'm going to just give this a try. I'm leaving my phone at home and I'm going to go on a walk. And I went on an hour and a half walk with Steve. And I'm like, I don't have my phone with me. And I started to have a little bit of anxiety. And then I realized, hey, it can all wait. Just lock in, have a conversation. Guys, I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to me. Let's not live distracted anymore. That trip with Faith was a really good eye-opening experience for me of what happens when there's just focused attention, of what happens when you're not just on your phone, just responding, just looking at things. And here's the thing. The big challenge too is not to give your children the tablets and not let them be digitally distracted. We often fly to Florida, and so many times on the drive to the airport, they've got their iPads out playing games or doing whatever they're doing. And a few weeks ago, or the last time we went, I said, "Hey, let's put all the technology away. Let's talk." They're like, "What? Talk?" I'm like, "Guys, talk. Talk. Let's talk." Do you know that that's becoming more and more of an art to actually carry on a conversation and talk? Like, that's becoming something that you actually have to work at because, again, screens, screens, and more screens. And while I love technology, while I'm grateful for it all, while it's given us the ability to just scale businesses, build global communities, do all the things, what it has taken from us, if we don't wake up to it, could be irreversible. Time. Time with your loved ones, time with your spouse, time with the most important people in the world. Focused, honest time. So, living this life, being people that are leaders and developers and growers and builders, it's a pitfall of ours. Distractions and disconnectedness and a lack of presence is probably the Achilles to so many business people, to so many leaders. They can be sitting at the table, but are they present? They can be having dinner, having what looks like a conversation, but not present. And my challenge is this: put the phone away, A, but to train your brain to be present. And maybe you have to start with the simple. Guys, it might be, I'm going to be completely present for the next 15 minutes. I'm telling you, as addicted as we are to technology, to instant responses, to responding to every little thing, every little notification, 15 minutes can be challenging. But if you want to build a life that has meaning and significance and that really lasts, it's making people feel good. It's how do people feel in your presence? And nothing feels worse than being in someone's presence, sharing your heart, and seeing them look at their phone, glance at their phone, or be sitting there, uh-huh, yeah, uh-huh, uh-huh, and you know that they're doing something else and scrolling. And guys, I have been so guilty of this, but I'm saying we can do better. And me taking my daughter to New York was a great experience for me because it was a mirror reflecting back to me of I can do better. And my intentionality in that, and even at night in the hotel of just talking and communicating, and that intentionality of looking her in the eyes and just being totally focused on her. Like, I see the change in her. I see the difference in her. And your attention matters. It matters to your marriage, it matters to your children, and it matters to your friendships. So, as much as we accomplish on this earth, if we lose everything when it comes to our own personal relationships, what's the point? So remember this, you truly are more. Today, we can do better. We can live more intentional. We can live more focused. Just try it. 15 minutes. My challenge is put your phone away for an hour at night, But I'm saying sit at a dinner table for 15 minutes and actually have a conversation. Just 15. See if you can do it and not be distracted by all sorts of thoughts. So train your brain to win. And winning is focus. Winning is intention. Winning is the gift of presence. So remember this, you truly are more.